The real key of choosing the right prosthetic knee is understanding how they really work. After the next few minutes you will know how the most used monocentric knee joints are constructed and what you really have to consider. Let's dive right in. This is the basic setup of a rotational hydraulic system of a prosthetic knee. Rotational because a moving part inside of the knee rotates through a fluid, usually oil, because unlike air, oil can't be compressed. That means you get a direct stable resistance. When the knee bends or straightens, oil is squeezed through small channels. Make the channels narrower, resistance goes up. That's how the knee stays stable under load. And this little point here is the swing axis. It allows the knee to absorb a bit of shock and stance, but the main pivot point is always here. The downside? The resistance doesn't adapt to the gait speed. Whether you stroll or sprint, the hydraulic resistance stays the same. And that's where the next design comes in. Another very smart prosthetic design that you should know. Linear hydraulics. The knee still has a single pivot point, but now we add a piston inside a cylinder. As the knee bends, the piston moves and pushes oil through valves. Same principle, but with a twist. In linear hydraulics, resistance depends on how far the knee is bent. At small angles, the piston moves deeply into the cylinder. That means lots of resistance. At larger angles, the piston path shifts forward, so less resistance is built up. There are also pneumatic versions, using air instead of oil. Air is compressible, so it feels springier, not as precise, but better for absorbing shocks during walking. This prosthetic knee design uses a very simple but smart idea, the brake knee. This is the pivot point. This is the swing axis. In this part, that's the brake. When weight is applied, a bend tightens around the pivot point, like a bicycle brake. That increases the resistance and stabilizes the knee. Adjust this screw and you can set how strong the brake should be. As the body moves forward in walking, the load shifts, the brake releases and the knee swings freely into flexion. Simple, clever and effective. This is the kind of prosthetic knee you definitely don't want to drop. A microprocessor controlled knee. It still has one pivot point and a piston with oil inside. But now sensors, valves and a computer controls the resistance in real time. A goniometer measures the angle. Sensors detect forces and the processor adjusts the valves in milliseconds. Why are prosthetic knees that are controlled by a microprocessor so good? Here's the knee motion of a non-amputee. About 25 degrees of flexion in stance and 65 degrees in swing. Many traditional monocentric knees can't allow stance flexion, so they feel really stiff. But microprocessor controlled knees? They can replicate it and even prepare for ground contact by flexing slightly before the foot touches the ground. Some monitor the entire gait cycle, others just key transition points. So MPK knees are very different from each other. But in comparison to other models, you gain a safer and smoother walking, which is much closer to the natural movement. If you want to learn what the best prosthetics in the world are right now, click on this video. Here we dive deep into the world of prosthetics that can regain the sense of touch and learn what are the best prosthetics in the world right now. I hope you learned something today. See you next time at Got It.